I've learned a lot about life since I turned 80, but going into a nursing home is one choice I really wish I hadn't made. It looked like the right choice at the time. My family told me they would be there for me and give me all the care and comfort I needed. They had my trust. However, when I got there, I saw that it was nothing like what I had thought it would be. A lot of you may be thinking about this choice, either for yourself or someone you care about. Perhaps you believe it is the best choice, or someone may have told you that it will ease your life. But before you do that, let me tell you 6 things I wish someone had told me before I moved in. Because, well, living in a nursing home isn't just about being easy. Everything changes. It's not as easy as you think to get out once you're inside. You might be surprised by some of these lessons, so stay with me until the end. If you know someone who is thinking about going to a nursing home, this video might help them make up their mind before they make such a big choice. It's time to begin. One thing I regret is losing my freedom. The most surprising thing about going into a nursing home wasn't the small room, the set meal times, or even the people you didn't know. It hit me that I wasn't in charge of my own life anymore. I had my habits before I moved in. I chose how to spend my day, when to eat, and when to wake up. I could go for walks whenever I pleased, make my own food, or read a book in my favorite chair. As soon as I walked into the care home, though, I knew that my time was no longer mine. The timetable for everything wasn't mine. I had to eat breakfast at a certain time, even if I wasn't hungry. There was a set time for lights out, even if I wasn't ready for bed. Do you want to go for a walk? It's possible that you'll need permission and will have to wait until someone is free to help you. Simple choices like what to eat or even what to wear began to feel like perks instead of normal options. The first week I was there, I woke up in a bed that didn't feel like mine. I stood up, stretched, and went to get the book I was reading at home. It hit me when I looked around the room. This wasn't my house. My books, my favorite chair, and other things I had gathered over the years were gone. Instead, there were clean walls and a bed. I didn't pick. I felt like I wasn't in charge of my own life anymore. What was the hardest? The realization that it's nearly impossible to get back your freedom once you've given it up. You change because you need to. It's over when they tell you what's for dinner. Don't ask if you can walk around whenever you want. You learn how to work with them, but you start to lose who you are in the process. Before you decide to go to a care home, you should ask yourself if you are ready to give up the little things that make your life unique. You'll miss them more than you ever thought possible once they're gone. I also feel regret and forgetfulness. Being in a nursing home is hard because you have to face the fact that the world keeps going on without you. My family told me they would come see me often when I first got here. At first, they did make me believe them. My daughter came by once a week, and my grandkids came over on the weekends. For a short time, I felt like I was still connected to my old life. Some visits did happen more often at first, but not as often as before. This time, my daughter called instead of coming. My grandkids had a lot to do with work and school. It was hardest during the holidays. Everyone said they would come, but plans always change at the last minute. All of a sudden, I was sitting alone in a common room, seeing other people look at the door, hoping that today would be the day that someone remembered them. Friends and family still loved me, but life got in the way. People might think you're okay, that you're getting used to things, or that you don't need as much attention when you're not around every day. But the truth is that people forget how much you need them more the longer you stay in a nursing home. One evening, I was in my room with my phone in my hand, not sure if I should call my son. I did not want to be a bother. I didn't want to keep telling him I was here, waiting for a visit that might never come. That's why I put the phone down. That's when it clicked. This was my life now. As the days pass, I keep hope that someone will remember to include me. If you want to move into a nursing home, you should ask yourself if you can handle being alone. Because it's easier than you think to forget about your family once you're not around. But they love you. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 3 below to let me know you're still here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. 3. Regret 3. Going through a loss of purpose. I thought I was just moving to a nursing home when I moved in. I had no idea that I was also changing why I lived. At home, I had things to do. I had habits, things I liked to do, and a reason to get up every day. It felt good to do even small things like watering the plants, making my own coffee, and cleaning up my room. But those daily habits stopped when they moved into the nursing home. I had food made for me. Someone else cleaned up. It wasn't my job to take care of the plants anymore. I told myself at first that it would be nice to finally chill out. You don't have to do anything else, just rest. I knew something was missing after a few weeks, though. It felt like there was nothing to do but wait for days on end. I saw it in other people who lived there too. People who used to be very active now just sat there and stared while they waited for time to pass. George was an 84-year-old man who had worked as a builder all his life. He fixed things and worked on small projects in his garage all the time at home. But there were no projects, tools, or other things for him to make here. I watched as he slowly pulled his hands away once. Strong and skilled, she is now just sitting there in his lap. He told me one day, "I feel empty." It was clear to me what he meant. There is no point in living when you don't have anything to care about or work toward. When the mind slows down, the body does too. Soon, you feel like you're just another person who lives in a place where time goes by, but nothing really changes. If you're thinking about going to a nursing home, ask yourself what makes your life worth living. Because it's not as easy to find meaning once you move in as it was before. You have to fight to keep the things that make you feel alive. For my health is getting worse faster than I thought it would. I was in good health for my age before I moved into a nursing home. I wasn't running marathons, but I knew how to take care of myself. Take walks and make my own food. I had little habits that kept me going. To keep my legs healthy, I walk around the house, go grocery shopping, and stretch in the morning. Things changed when I moved in, though. It looked like I was just taking it easy at first. I didn't have to stand in the kitchen to cook anymore because meals were brought to me. I could press a button and someone would come help me if I needed it. But I didn't know that the less I took care of myself, the weaker I got. My legs started to feel stiffer after I stopped moving around as much. Before I knew it, getting up from a chair felt like work. I sat down more than I used to. It was happening faster than I thought. The muscles I had worked out for years were going away. It wasn't just me. I also saw other people have it happen. People who used to be able to walk in on their own were now using walkers. People who used to be able to do things on their own now needed help with things they never had a problem with before. It looked like we needed more help the more we got it. I remember my 81-year-old friend Alice, the Thrinid Waziris Chabrajarathuncha. She was very active when she first moved in. Every day, she would walk around the building and say she wasn't going to slow down because of a number. I saw that she wasn't walking as much after a few months, though. After that, she used a walker and then a wheelchair. She looked at me one day and said, "I don't know when it happened, but I feel like I've lost 10 years in just a few months." And it really did feel that way. You start to lose your body when you don't use it. And because everything in a nursing home is meant to make life easier, it's simple to forget that moving around is essential for living. I would have pushed myself more to stay busy and move even when I didn't feel like it if I knew how quickly I would lose my strength. If you're thinking about going to a nursing home, ask yourself if you will still want to keep your body healthy when everything is taken care of for you. It's not as easy as you think to get back up after slowing down. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're still here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. It's the loss of privacy and respect that I regret the most. How much privacy I would lose was something I didn't fully think about before I moved into a nursing home. I had my own place at home. I could shut the door to my bedroom and be alone if I chose to. I could do what I pleased. But when you live in a nursing home, you don't always get to keep your privacy. From the time I got there, I felt like I was always being watched. There were staff coming and going, room checks, and shared areas where you're rarely by yourself. People often needed help with even the most basic things, like getting ready or going to the bathroom. I understand that they were just doing their job, but it's hard to ask for help with things you've always done on your own. I remember how hard it was for me the first week to accept that I needed to ask for permission to do things I used to do without thinking. Do you want a shower? You might have to wait until someone can help you. Need to go to the bathroom? When you press the call button, you might have to wait longer than you'd like. There weren't many food options either. It's too bad if you don't like what's on the menu that day. Then there was the matter of having roommates. You might not get your own room, and it can be annoying to share a place with someone you didn't choose. It was nice to have a nice roommate, but I heard of people who weren't as lucky. Some people had roommates who were too loud, dirty, or even had mental health problems that made it hard to sleep. It's never really yours, no matter how hard you try to make your room feel like home. It's hard to give up your dignity, and I didn't know how much of it I'd have to give up until I was there. People who knock on your door and don't always wait for an answer change you. So do people who talk to you like a patient instead of a person, and people whose daily lives are based on a plan they didn't make. It feels like you're just another name on a list instead of being yourself. Before you decide to go to a care home, you should ask yourself if you are ready to give up the privacy and control you've had all your life. It's hard to get back once it's gone. Sixth, you realize that leaving is harder than you thought. I told myself it would only be for a short time when I first moved into the nursing home. I planned to try it out and see how things went. If I didn't like it, I could always leave. What I didn't know, though, was how hard it would be to get out next. It looked easy at first. I would just go home if I didn't like it. But things were different at home. My house was empty, and it was hard to take care of it since I was far away. There were already changes being made by my kids. They were selling things they thought I wouldn't need and even thinking about renting out the house. They paused when I brought up the idea of going back. Are you sure you can handle things by yourself? Isn't it better to stay? We only care about you. Then there was the matter of getting worse physically. I wasn't as strong as I used to be because I hadn't had to cook, clean, or even walk very far for months. I started to lose the freedom I used to have, which made the thought of moving back home harder than I thought it would be. I wasn't sure I could live by myself, and that fear kept me from moving. I talked to other people who had the same thing happen. They were going to stay at the nursing home for a while, but it wasn't as easy to leave as they thought. It gets harder to get used to life outside the longer you stay. Some people even lost the choice completely. They couldn't go back once they sold their house or spent all of their savings on care. That part is what no one tells you. It may seem like you can change your mind about moving in, but for most people, it's not. As time goes on, the care home slowly takes over your life. Before you know it, the outside world seems like a long time ago. Before you decide to go to a nursing home, you should ask yourself if you are ready for the fact that it might not be as easy to leave as you thought. Because it can be harder than you think to leave once you get used to the costs, hassles, or feelings that come with it. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 9 below to let me know you're still here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Hello, Mom. Last thoughts. I don't regret getting older, but I do regret thinking that a care home was my only choice. When I walked in, I thought it would be safe, comfortable, and make my life better. What I found instead was a world that slowly took away my freedom, privacy, sense of self, and even my reason for living. Does that mean all nursing homes are bad? Not all the time. They really do need to give that much care to some people. But think deeply about what you're giving up before you move in. Life will never be the same after you move in. It would have been harder for me to leave my own home if I could go back in time. I would have looked into more ways to get help without giving up my freedom and made sure I really needed to be there before making such a big move. I hope you take the time to ask yourself, is this really what's best for me? If you have to make this choice. Or is it just what I can do right now? Because the habits, freedom, and choices you have now are valuable and should be kept for as long as possible. Thanks for being here today. Please get in touch with us. Please tell me what you learned today and how you're going to use it in your life. We care about what you think, so don't be shy about telling us. We feel very motivated and encouraged when we read your opinions. Please like, subscribe, and share this video if you liked it and found it useful. Thanks for your support. It lets us keep making good material for you to learn from and be inspired by. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.